Hello.
Last night I saw you standing, and I started pretending I knew you, and you knew me too. And just like a romance, you were too shy, but you weren't the only cause, so was I. And I dreamed of you ever since. Now I build up my confidence that next time you come my way, I know just what to say. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. I started to write you letters, but I wanted to be more clever. I wanted to get down and sweet talk you, hey baby. But just like a baby, I could not talk, and I tried to come closer, but could not walk. And I think of it every night, how I just could not get it right. Oh, if we ever come close again, I know what I'll say then. Yeah, can we talk for a minute? I wanna know your name. Can we talk for a minute, baby? I want to know your name. Oh, girl, one more chance with you again. I will not let it go. Oh, please give me just one more chance for Come on and talk to me, baby. Said I wanna know your name. I wanna know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. I said, can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby. See, I wanna know. You better tell me your name, baby. I said, talk to me for a minute. Come on and talk for a minute. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know your name. Talk to me for a minute. Come on and talk for a minute.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening to everybody. Thank you all for joining us for another Wednesday for your happy hour. And today's topic will be discussing open relationships. Rayvon is with us. This week he's been on vacation. We missed him. Um, so, anyways, we are here. Got Real with us, as you all can see. We got Rayvon back in the building. So I'm going to let the gentleman start out with the conversation this week because I am kind of in like relax mode, and I'm gonna let the men do the thing this week on open relationships, and I'm gonna chime in from a woman's perspective here and there. So, which one of you gentlemen going to start?
Well, I'd be happy to start. As far as the open relationship, I always say I probably would be down for it, but it just depends on the situation. To be honest with you, um, me being with someone and bringing someone else into the mix, I think I probably would get into my feelings a little bit because I feel like things can go real left. They might catch feelings, or the other person might catch feelings, and then there's gonna be a lot of disrespect involved, and a lot of sneaking and all that craziness. So I don't know. It's kind of a back and forth for me. It depends on my situation at the moment.
So, did you say that you would be down for it or you wouldn't?
Oh yeah, I definitely would. It just depends on the situation. Now,
You'll be down for it.
if I'm married to my other half, oh hell no, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Not
But
doing that.
before marriage, you'll be open to it.
Yes, but it would be stipulations and restrictions, definitely, and it's definitely not gonna be nobody we know. Can't do that.
Real, you want to speak on it?
I mean, what I think we need to justify the difference. When we say open relationships, I guess we're talking about each individual person having the right to do things outside of the relationship or outside of the marriage, not necessarily a joint effort where they're bringing
You know
something
what?
in the marriage, right?
You're absolutely right.
Well, I
I'm
would say
I'm
all
all
across the
for it.
board because all of it's open.
I mean, yeah, but my thought process just now was like a threesome or something like that. But um, like he said, yeah, open relationship. I don't know because that means is a lot of feelings can get involved, and you can do what you want to do when you want to do it, and I can do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't know if I'm gonna like that.
Right. When you say open relationships, that's kind of what I get out of that. It's more
Yeah.
like, we're together, but there's times where and I don't know if you ever watch The Shy. I
Yeah,
never really watched it completely, but I caught bits and pieces of it, and I caught a couple episodes where the one of the main characters and his, I don't know, wife, baby mama, whatever, they agreed on open relationship because at the time, he was out there getting it. He was here, there, and whatever, and it seemed like she was more laid back. And then at some point, she decided, okay, she's going to take advantage of the moment for herself. And he really got in his feelings about it once he figured out what was really going on. And I think in most cases, from a man perspective, that would happen because, I've never personally been in an open relationship. I never really entertained being in an open relationship. I'm just one of those. If this is my woman, there should be no hands on my woman besides myself, and vice versa.
yeah,
And when you get into the situation where you even have that conversation about entertaining an open relationship, that if
there's
you
something
if
going
my,
on.
right, if my
Yeah.
partner came to me and with the thought of, what do you think about having an open relationship? That's a red flag.
It's something
That
you're not giving
means
me.
something ain't good here,
Yeah.
and they ready to go look for it elsewhere. So it ain't gonna be an open relationship. It's gonna be a done relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
some people,
and I don't knock those that are in those type of relationship, to each his own.
yeah,
So,
Whatever works for you works for you.
yeah, but I would have to question the strength of the love or whatever for you to be willing to allow your partner to be out. Because come on, let's be honest. As men, if you home on a Saturday night with the kids and knowing this relationship and your wife is 2-3 o'clock in the morning and she just coming in, you know that it's those thoughts, and then she run and just jump straight in the shower. You already
Oh,
know.
yeah.
You already know how it went
I
down.
already know what it is.
So I don't. Maybe that's just me, and some people may call it insecure. I don't. I mean, to me, that's not insecure. If I
No.
wanted to, I always felt that before I would be in an open relationship, I would be single.
And you know what? To be honest with you, now that I think about it, that it makes more sense because you can do what you want to do when you want to do it.
I'm gonna do
Because
what I want
you're
to
not
do when I
answering to
want to
nobody
do
for
it.
real.
Who I want to do it with, how I want to do it. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just my perspective. So yeah, the whole open relationship, and you know, some people got different perspectives on relationships as far as boyfriend and girlfriend versus marriage, right?
Yeah.
You talk to some people and they say until you get married, you're single, right? So they figure they do.
Hey, but look,
hey,
men think about it like that, but you know, women don't think like that.
no, they don't. So that's
Hell no.
but that's where the communication part come on. It has to be clear cut how we both feel about this relationship. Until we both say I do, it's important to understand, you know, yes, we're dating, but are we dating exclusively? Are we dating freely? Are we dating, you know, how is this going? So I want to make sure I'm moving how you move. So
Yeah, no confusions.
I ain't trying to put all my feelings in the basket and you still floating around here like, you know, Jenny crack corn. You know what I mean? You tossing that thing around 90 going south, and I'm
being conservative.
Yeah, we need to understand. We need to be on the same page with this. So that's why open relationship to me means I'm single.
Yeah.
Or open, and if we, like I said, if we're married and we're even entertaining the open relationship concept, it's because we both need one of us or neither one of us are truly happy.
Something is lacking somewhere.
Something is going on, and versus one or the other saying, you know, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. Your immediate solution is let's try an open relationship.
I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't be okay with the open relationship, whether I'm married or just in a straight up relationship. Because if I wanted to deal with multiple people, I wouldn't even entertain the piece of the relationship. Me personally. However, when two free spirited individuals get together and this is what they enjoy doing, then that's their choice. That's what they enjoy doing for whatever reason. And you know, because you have couples that, because to me, open relationship could be because you have couples that swing. They go from, you know what I'm saying, them two together, and then they go meet up with another couple. So that is a open relationship. Then you got people that's in a relationship that feel like, you know, they want to bring in another woman or they want to bring in another man inside of the relationship they already had. So,
but that's what I'm saying. That this whole definition, interpretation,
because all that is open,
that's
open to me.
It's kind of like it's open. It's a hit and miss with that.
Right, because open versus swing is different to me.
It is?
To me. A swing relationship that I know of, that means us together, we go to certain places, we meet with other.
So y'all would swing together?
Couples. What? What do you say?
Would y'all swing together?
No, I ain't entertaining.
No,
Yeah, I ain't.
No, you mean what do you mean when we swing together?
I'm talking about as far as would y'all swing?
Oh, with me, you're asking with me and
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not.
It was a joke. It was a
No,
joke.
but we're having conversation.
Yeah,
You okay
right.
to ask
Yeah.
the question?
It's a legit
Yes,
question.
because
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
Question, but
Yeah.
it's just,
We
no.
have conversations, like we
Yeah.
talk about it, and we have conversations.
In all
Right.
honesty,
And that's a good thing with y'all because y'all are very open. Y'all have very good conversation. I like that.
But believe it or not, we've been to a swing type club before, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I just go ahead and say it. There's a club.
Yeah.
It's a club in Maryland called Taboo, and
I've heard of that.
and it's not just a swing club, right? It's just like an all-out be yourself type
It's
club.
really a Pandora box club.
So, because nobody
You
disrespects.
never know what's gonna open up.
Right. And I ain't trying to promote them, so because they ain't paying us for this. But I'll say, and I got that from a friend of mine years ago. He was telling me how this girl he met took them there, and man, he just couldn't stop talking about it, right?
Mhm.
So one day, and it was in the early years of us dating, I mentioned it to her, and it was like, let's be curious, right? Let's go see what this is all about. We both had that curiosity to see what they
be doing.
That's life though. Like
That's a wide open. But the experience was nice, right? But we didn't have no sexual act with one another or with anybody else. However, it's because it's like a club. You bring your own drink, you can dance, and like women are in there in lingerie or dress however they're dressed. But then when like you go downstairs, it's like you can watch.
Right. Because I applaud them for how they set it up, because if you don't want to be involved with no foolishness,
you can watch it.
There is no foolishness.
Right.
There's two levels to it. So if you stay on the first level, it's just like a club.
Yeah.
People dancing, people enjoying themselves. You may have you may see a woman that's walking around in like see-through lingerie or whatever, but nothing ridiculous. But if you go downstairs, oh yeah, it's on and popping downstairs.
They say buck a naked.
Yeah, they got the dungeons, and you peep in one room, and there's like 10 people in the room together, and so you can
see it. Yeah. Like they have the curtains open or the
wide open
windows.
Some people they prefer it wide open. Some people
that's that freaky shit. I would love that. Yes.
Yeah, that's between that.
And in some situations, and then they have it to where as though, say if we wanted to get one of the rooms and just us two, right? We didn't want nobody to join, but we wanted to see what it feel like to have an audience, right? So we would just open up the curtain and shut the door, and then people can watch you as they walk past or whatever. So I mean, it's unique, very something that I think couples would do that's spontaneous, but. We haven't went back. We went the one time and we haven't went back. But I know as far as in us, like I'm not a swinger type person per se. And I'm not a bring a woman into the bedroom either.
Right. And even that place, of course, you got those that maybe they see you, they might find you attractive, right? But they real respectful how they approach you. So I applaud them for that. They talk to you, they real smooth with how they introduce or whatever. So when you say, "No, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. They don't push the issue. Ain't no pressure, none of that. So it was a real smooth spot,
Yeah.
And I it's one of those spots I would go back to just because.
But men can't go without a woman.
Right. But yeah, it's crazy how the guy said, like, a man can't go without a woman. A woman can go anytime she want to go, of course, right? But a man, he has to have a sponsor, or he has to be a couple, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, if you into that type of stuff, and like I said, I'm not promoting them because they're not paying us for this, but it's called Taboo, and it's in.
I'm sold. I'm sold. I just
It's
need
in
to drop.
Baltimore. I think it's in Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, I'm
Somewhere in
telling
Maryland.
you sold, but you better get one of your good girlfriends to take your ass
Oh,
with
look, I already knew I'm taking with me. I already know.
unless you ready to cross dress and get in that motherfucker.
Oh, nah, I'm taking some pussy with me. I ain't cross dressing. Hey, we going both and both. Come on, let's get it.
But
So
I mean, on the
But that's dope, though. I like that.
back on the topic.
back on the open relationship part, to me, it's like there's a difference. So
It is, but I guess okay. So what made me want to have this topic and this discussion, right, is because I be in certain groups, and even the discussion has came up in CWT, right, where um, people will had a discussion where the boyfriend wants the girlfriend to have her, another female, right? And it starts out as, I just want to see you and the girl, how a man's fantasy is with the woman and woman or whatever. But then
That's a lie.
but then it turns left because now she is more into the women, right? But then it's like, who's wrong here? Because at first she's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But then I'm going to do it for my man. But then
He
I
did it.
doing it for her man. Now she want to do it for herself. So it's like, who's the wrong person? And that is a part of having the open relationship when they decided, okay, I'm going to do it for you. And this is your fantasy. But now that she wants to keep on doing it, he feels some type of way. Or he feels some type of way too because the person that's coming in don't want to be touched by the male no longer.
and then there's the other situation. So I see this. This is more so of a
It's just another scenario of the open relationship.
a swinger, almost like a swinger relationship turned open relationship, right? Like they get together or whoever, and they feelings get involved, as we say. So now the other person decide that they want to see that third party person.
Is it a feelings that get involved, or is it just a feeling from the sexual desire? Because there's a difference between the two. They might not feel nothing for the person, but they just like that enjoyment of the sexual piece.
I mean, it is what it is. It's the fact that that third person came in and sexually satisfied them the way that their partner couldn't. So now they want that on a regular basis.
Is it a way that the partner couldn't?
That's the risk you take.
But is it
And that's where the whole thing started.
Couldn't though, or is it that it's just something new?
One of the two. I mean,
it ain't always the I don't think
either or. And but again, that's why I say open relationships to me is just, to me, I want a variety. And before I would be willing to do an open relationship, I'd just rather be single.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I say. If you got to go through all them channels and different people and want to do this and do that, but I mean, why not just be single? But maybe for some is, I don't want to be single every day of the week. I just want to be spontaneous here and there.
And
so
see,
I want a partner.
And that comes in where, that's why I say, you may be in a relationship or married, and the relationship part is great. The bills being taken care of. We happy, we having fun, we travel, we do this, we do all the great things that couples may want to do, right? But then there's that bedroom part that not quite to one or the other standard.
Yeah.
So now that's where the open relationship comes in, because you look, to me, an open relationship, you looking for something that you and it ain't got to be sexual. You look for something that you're not getting with your partner, and it could, and it very well could be vice versa, because it could be with your partner that sexually or whatever that is awesome, but you may not have that that friend, that best friend connection with your partner that you may have with this other person, male, female, whatever, opposite sex, that you enjoy, right? You know,
Yeah.
me and my partner at home in the bed, all this is awesome. But then this other girl, other female or whatever, it's just that we have a connection where we can go sit somewhere and in the park and eat and talk and whatever and relate and vibe together. So an open relationship does not necessarily have to mean it's sexual.
Right.
It's just open. It's open for a reason. It's if you having an open relationship, you are trying to fulfill something that you are missing. So I would say, and I don't know if it's because maybe you have tried to talk through it or work through it and it's not working, but an open relationship, you're missing something right there inside the house that you just can't solve. So you're curious to go outside elsewhere with the permission
Of your partner.
to find that.
So basically, so you won't be called a cheater.
Yeah, so that's right. So,
So you
that's
won't be
all.
called a cheater,
That's
and they're being aware of the situation,
That's all it is. Open relationship is so you can't say I'm cheating. You knew it was.
making a
It
person
is what
aware.
it is.
So Rayvon, you was gonna say something.
So I figure, um, with that being said, most people, I think they step out wanting more, but you get caught up in a situation to where you want more, but then when you get caught in a situation to where that more is too much for you, which meaning two people, two different freaks, two different sexual preferences, all that stuff. So at the end of the day, what do you do about that?
What do you do about?
As far as like trying to maintain that open relationship when it gets too far.
Well, I guess that would be depending on the couple and the people that's
Yeah.
involved in the situation. Because to me, in a lot of cases, I really maybe 50-50, where it's like the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And we hold on to each other until we feel like we have found better and we just don't want to cheat on the other person. Or we just don't want to do it anymore and we tried everything. Right? That's just from the outside looking in. But again, if two free spirited individuals are together and they're kind of into this lifestyle, walking into it, it might be normal to them. It might be fine to
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's like the what is it called? Polygamy?
Polygamy.
Yeah. Where everybody's okay. You know what I'm saying? Where the lady has the two men or the man has the two women. But this
Oh, there's more than one wife.
yeah, or husband or whatever. But
Polygamy.
yeah, but I know for me, I don't have that personality. I don't have that personality to
I don't
come
like
home
saying, to be
today
honest with
and
you.
real is more into Samantha than he is into me. I don't have that
And that's gonna cause an issue.
personality. No. I want my attention. I want what I want, and then you leave out here and you going to get Samantha some stuff and you forget mine. That ain't gonna work.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that's really how that works. I really think when people agree upon a relationship like
That's
that,
I don't have a personality.
I'm pretty sure that
Or the patience.
he knows that if he's in that type of relationship or she's in that type of relationship, one man, two women, it works both ways, right? It's because that one single person knows how to satisfy them both on whatever level that may be.
Yeah.
So that's why it works for those people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for me, I don't have that personality. I don't have that personality to
I mean, like most things, we say that, but we never experienced it, so we don't.
as of today.
Yeah.
Raw doesn't have that personality.
But you never know what might work out
yeah.
because just like and that could be one of those. It works out because you get those days where you and I may not want to deal with each other, or we whatever you feeling some type of way, you tired or whatever, So now the other one is in a happier mood. So that's what keeps that one person motivated, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to justify. I've never dealt with it. I don't know
Yeah,
anyone
I
that
get what you're
has.
saying. I mean,
But
that's for the person that wants to do it. That's for the people that wants to do it. I get it because when one light switch is off, the other one is on, right?
Yeah.
But that's the greatness of it. But we don't know what it looks like when both light switches is off. You know what I'm saying? Where it can be a headache. Like, okay, And my thing is, if you can't really deal and one woman get on your nerves, what you gonna do with two? Especially if you got one of the ones where her mood swings
Go
change
fucking crazy.
a month. Huh?
I said gonna go crazy for real.
Yeah. But I will say this, for the ones that are in an open relationship and this is what y'all do, and even if it's somebody that's on here now, like enlighten us and tell us, because this is kind of, we just love to talk about it. Because again, y'all can give us an aha moment to the, oh, I ain't think about it like that. I didn't know it come with those comps, or this is the good side, this is the bad side. So
I know with the polygamy thing, when I see it on social media, they talk most about the fact that, of course, you got 3 incomes versus two.
money in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
it becomes a money thing. But I guess my hang up with that had always been, as me being me, I just don't know how to explain to my daughters that at the end of the night when we go to bed, daddy going into bed with 2 women. See what I'm saying? I don't want my daughters to think that
That's okay.
that's okay.
But
I
why
don't-
wouldn't you know if you okay with it?
That's why I can't. I never said I was okay.
No,
with
I'm
it.
saying, but you got to remember,
But
when a person thinks
but
like that, they're going to
apparently,
be
a
okay with
person
it.
that is okay with it,
It's not going to see nothing wrong with
they
it.
don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm speaking from my perspective.
But he's a totally different breed because any other man would that I know don't care, which I don't respect. But he's a great father, so I get where he's coming from. Yes,
Well, he's looking at it from all perspective, but see, a lot
I
of
get it.
people
I
are
get
looking
that
at it
too.
from their perspective.
Yeah,
Because you always think about what you always
wonder-
think about what your girls think about you. Because when your
Even-
girls think
even
about
your
your
sons.
father, they look for their father in a husband. You
Yeah,
know,
I always wonder that, like, if you in that type of relationship and you have daughters, is this what you teaching your daughters, that this is okay? Now,
oh, daddy freaking, let me freak. Let me get
so,
a husband.
I mean,
You know,
granted, not to say it's wrong or right, but
it's not. But
it is what it is, right? From a male perspective, that
yeah,
if you see to teach your son something like that, we don't see that as bad, right?
yeah.
So
Because as a man, it's a totally different
because it's our
perspective.
son.
Yeah.
My son gonna be like me. He gonna lay up here with you, But I'm as
Like,
a girl,
keep it moving.
as a girl dad, you know,
You don't
as-
want to talk about that.
as having all girls, I don't want my daughters to think that they have to settle for something like that. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So that's why what I do, I try to keep them in mind because I know they watch. So
That too, and then you have on the other side of it is you'll be okay with your child living in a household, right, as the second woman or the first woman, whichever, and then the second one to do the follow up, or whichever way order it is, right? But say if she's not into what you're into with the monogamy, right? But she has the boyfriend, but the boyfriend is dealing with multiple women as well.
I mean, to me,
It's all still the same.
it's the same thing. But
They're just not in agreement.
that is why, again, I guess I see myself different. That is why that even when I was single, my daughters never saw me with multiple women. I was single for pretty much almost 10 years. And it's a very, very select hand. And even if they did see me, even if they did, those women I was dealing with were around, it was always in a public setting where it was other people around, so it was never, put it this way, they never saw me laying in a bed with another woman. See what I'm saying? They might see, we might go to a bike function or bike party, whatever, and that person may be around, and and my daughters know of other women I've dealt with, and they just think that they're my
Y'all
friends.
cool.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all were cool.
Case in point, there was one situation when Jakaya was graduating, and she invited someone to her graduation party that she never knew me. That she just thought it was one of the people she've known growing up as a friend of mine, and she wanted to invite them to the graduation party, thinking it was just some friendship type stuff. And I had to tell her, no, wait,
It's something totally different.
you know, you can't just invite any and everybody to the house like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta
even
be conscious of it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was crazy because that person inboxed me like, did you know she invited? No, I did not know. See what I'm saying? So most people they've ever seen me around, they saw them as just one of daddy's friends, and that's the way I just chose to keep it until I knew. And there's one or two that, especially Jakaya, she's my middle daughter, so there's one or two where I thought there would be something coming out of it that she may
Yeah.
have known on a different level, but other than that, nah.
But and then that right there just goes to show you, ladies, you see how men protect they kids from women, but women be so quick to open up their hands and their friends to their kids. You know, you got to kind of be the same way.
I don't
Colors.
think. I think it's so mixed or unpredictable. It's crazy because I got
Hey, yo,
friends.
I'm gonna have to check out for about 5 minutes. My job, one of my residents passed, so give me
Okay.
5-10 minutes. I'll chime back in.
All right.
Yeah, I got some homeboys that were not so protective of their kids. You know,
Well, yeah, I mean
They-
that's but again because they wasn't like that for the simple fact that you know what I'm saying, they was worried about themselves. They was worried about you know what I'm, that's just like women. You know what I'm saying? It be a point where we worried about ourselves and you know what I mean? Oh, they but I'm gonna tell you one thing that I don't like. How do you tell your child to this Uncle Leroy and you're laying in the bed with him?
with Uncle Leroy. And you know, honestly, when I think about it, I think and this might have been one of the positive things that I got out of my parents not being together, right? Because as I think about it, both my parents, as I think about it, because I never known either one of my parents my parents never been together that I ever known them to be from the time I can remember. So whatever happened, and here I am. So, but as far as my mother, I remember even in my younger days, and that's probably why I stayed with my grandmother so much, because I never saw what was going on. You know, she had her own, me and her, we lived together, but most of the time I was always at my grandma. I never seen a man at our house. It was, I'm gonna get dropped off at grandma's house, or and most time that's what I wanted to do. I want to go to grandma's house. I got so used to it, I want to go to grandma's house.
Right.
So that's why I spent so much time at grandma's house, and then something happened. The guy she was dating at the time, come to find out they had been dating for a couple of years before I even met him. And then I met him, I moved in with them, and they were together up until I was, I think, 12 years old. You know, all us in the same house. They live across, and his kids live across the street from us, right? Those, I tell you, my stepbrothers and sisters.
Right.
So, and before they finally split up, after that, again, I didn't see any other men with my mother. I didn't know if she had a boyfriend, what she had going on, whatever, until she got married. Right before she got married, she met my stepfather or whatever. I met him, whatever, and then a year or so later they got married. So I guess that was one of the good things. Same thing with my dad, even though I knew he had multiple kids. There was only for the longest time the only women I ever met that my dad dealt with were the women he had children by.
Well, I guess when you think about it too, like back in the day for our parents, right? And you know how back then when we were being raised and then our parents were being raised, they seen the dads have two households and the woman knew about it. So I guess that was the back in day open relationship, right? Because they would know that there's another woman. They would know when he doesn't spend a night here, he got to be over old Shirley's tonight, or Lucille's.
Don't do Shirley like that. He ain't that Shirley.
I
Miss Shirley, don't take that.
whatever.
But
But anyways, just as an example, I just threw the name out there.
And you know, it's funny because that's why I see these posts nowadays where women want to say, bring back the old days, or why can't you treat me like my grandfather treated my grandmother? You better be careful what you ask for.
But no, because you got to remember, well, yeah, because maybe grandma just didn't speak on it. But all men wasn't like that, though. All men wasn't like you and our grandfathers.
I would be willing to bet 75% were. There were a lot of multiple households.
Yeah, that's where all them kids come from too.
In those days.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I guess to each his own for the open relationship. And when I do talk to people that do indulge in it, I ask questions. It's because for one, I'm nosy, right? And then for two, I just want to know, like, how do y'all deal with it? How do you do it? And if there's anybody on here that's in this situation or curious about the situation and y'all got questions, like, or y'all want to inform us of something, please do so by all means. This is why we go live, because we want to interact with our viewers. Because it's times that we want to be enlightened. And this is one of the situations we want to be enlightened on. I know I do anyway.
Yes. Hey, fam.
In an open relationship?
I'm not curious about being in an open relationship. Because again,
hey, Rayvon, block us out real quick.
No,
block us out. It's about to get physical.
that was great to tell y'all. I gotta do a May call for work, so I'm gonna have to log off early.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me take care of this for my patient.
Okay.
Y'all be good.
All right. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that, it's just because we're not into it, we're looking at why we're not into it. So when I say enlighten us, I mean enlighten us because what made you get into it? Have you always been like that, or you was introduced to it? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's a very interesting topic, and again, especially for those of us that's really don't have no true insight on, like, what makes a person agree to do something like that? Like,
right.
What
triggers you to be like?
And again, we all different. Like I said, to me, it's more so that if I decide that I need to be with multiple women, I just need to be single.
Right.
But we all know, no, not everybody's at that level that they think about it that way.
Their maturity, right?
And the flip side, not to say it's immature, but it's just home is so stable. They got a stable. You may have a stable home, but there's something missing that you're going to have that open relationship.
Right.
And maybe you may both agree that point is missing. That part is missing. So that's why you agree to have that open relationship. This, that, and other is good, but we can't seem to get this part right. So let's just
I'm texting her.
Let's both of us just go find someone that we can go sit in the park with and talk with, or that have another common interest that we can't seem to come together with, that we can have that open relationship.
Right.
Again, I say Because I think when you say open relationship, it doesn't always have to be sexual. Even though 95.732% of it is probably sexual. But why not figure out that why the sexual part is not matching up? And not to say that a lot of them haven't tried, but I don't know. I guess I haven't been to that point where I feel like it's just, I'm gonna stay here, but we need to talk about an open relationship.
Yeah, I mean, are you okay with it? And my thing is, once it's being known, that's what you want to do and how you want to do it, and the people are in agreement with it. And some people don't mind it too because they know they can't give somebody what they need, right? So they become in agreement with it because I know I can't fulfill you sexually, not because I don't want to, but just because I'm not functioning there to do so. But I can provide for you all these other ways, and you're okay with that, and I'm okay with you going to get your feelings somewhere else. So I mean, it's all different scenarios. We can look at that like, oh heck no,
Now,
but it's just
to me that's more some of an older couple, right? That when you get up there in age, maybe the man got a prostate issue, whatever, he can't get it up, and he tell his wife, "Look, I know what it is. You got to do what you got to do." Or vice versa, the wife having issues with vaginal whatever, and she knows she can't whatever. Hey, go out here and do what you got to do. That's something. I guess I look at that different. When you get into those older years, you never know what might happen. But outside of that, everything is great. So you're trying to keep that together.
But sometimes it ain't even the older. I mean, sometimes
I
you don't
guess
gotta be older.
I keep thinking back to the little parts I've seen, and again, I haven't watched the whole series of The Shy, but it's funny because I only caught those parts where
Well, yeah, because you spoke on it and you said, women, da da da, this, that, and the third, and I was like, no, you gotta. This is what he did,
right? Because I didn't see.
Because I had to bring him up
from
to
the
speed.
beginning.
Right, I had to bring him up to
I
speed.
just saw where she was creeping out in the middle of the night
and coming back,
right? And he was like, I know we had this agreement for an open relationship, but now I want to just be me and you and blah blah blah. And see, that's that risk you take. He gave her that free pass, and I guess in the beginning she didn't take advantage of it, and it was just him just wilding out, just nailing everything with a heartbeat.
Right, but see, for him, and he brought her into it and wanted her to accept. I got a problem. It's just what it is, but you're the main one. They mean nothing to me, and babe, I think this is the best way. This is how he presented it to her. And she was like, no, I don't want no, you think I'm going to be cool with another, be touching you and this, that, and the third. And what about me and your son? And he still did it. So then, and actually they got back together when he felt that it wasn't fulfilling anymore. They got back together. And when they had got back together, she was like, she started getting attention, right? And she stopped caring about what he was doing. So when she started getting attention, one night she just got intrigued and was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And when she tried it, it gave her something new, and she just kept going, man. And he hated it. And that's why I say sometimes you got to be careful what you want to introduce your partner to, man and woman. Just because it's benefiting you, it's feeling good to you, and your partner's like, no, this is not what I want to do. And then they're like, well, fuck it. Let me act like he acting. Let me act like she acting. Let me try it.
So how do you get mad at that?
You don't get mad, right? You can't get a real person. You can't get mad, but a selfish person will, though.
Yeah,
a selfish person will,
and especially as a man, I tell you, we think it's all good as long as I ain't trying to give out no codes or whatever, but I'm just being honest. We think it's good. We think it's all good as long as us having the upper hand. We out here doing whatever, and the woman just holding it down, being faithful because she refused to go that route. So we just, in our minds, we think she'll never do that.
Yeah, because it's not in her.
But
But too,
the thing that we fail to realize that men, as men, is
women check out before they check out.
not only that, but women when they do stuff like that, they become a whole lot more emotional.
Right.
They get that
Emotion-
emotional attachment.
They cheat with their mind and heart, and
Yeah.
men cheat.
So when she start cheating, it's gonna be that one dude probably that she really
Gonna latch to.
she gonna start feeling him.
And
She gonna
latch.
start to catch on to him, and she not gonna be want to be away from him. Versus us, we can do bam 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 each night, and it no feeling whatsoever. It's just all we doing is getting our rocks off. Honestly, a man could do that. I'm telling you from a man perspective, there's been situations where there's been relations and
No feelings.
zero feelings whatsoever.
It was just a relation with the penis.
It was just opportunity. It's not a relationship, it's just opportunity. And women are completely vice versa. Women, they're not gonna do it. Women, most cases, are not all the time. There's some that think like men, but in most cases, women doing it with a thought behind it.
A purpose.
Per se, a purpose, a thought.
So
or they just feel that there's some feelings involved.
So I'm gonna let you finish the last part of it because I have to go, you guys. I'll see you guys next week. We'll be coming on Monday of next week instead of Wednesday. And actually, it won't be me. It'll be Real and our special guest that will be coming on. I have to go. I have to go get my daughter. But thank you all for joining. I'm gonna let Real wrap it up. Me and Rayvon just finished the show. Well, I gotta go and get my daughter. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us. And Monday, we're definitely going to be having a special guest, a great topic, and I will be putting it out there on social media what the topic and discussion is going to be. So, thank you all for joining us.
So now y'all stuck with me. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but here we go. We only got a few minutes left, right? So, again, getting back into the subject of the open relationships, right? Like I said, us, and to keep it 100% honest, us men, we are more in tune to just, we're out to get this feeling. We out to, we can go out, strip club, stripper acting like she, want to do something and couple dollars and bam, we gonna do what we gonna do and we gonna go home. That don't mean we love our significant other any less. It was opportunity, and that's not. And trust me, I'm not condoning that. Not the least bit. But I'm just saying that on the flip side, as a woman, for her to do something like that, there has to be some type of feeling. There has to be some type of connection, or even there has to be something that she felt at that moment that made her think that, okay, this is my opportunity. So, other than that, like the whole open relationship topic, as I said in the beginning, I think some confuse being in an open relationship versus being in a polygamous relationship versus being in a bring it in relationship, right? So to me, an open relationship is we have this understanding that you can go wherever and do whatever, and as long as you come home, as long as you're taken care of home, everything's good. Versus I want to bring somebody into the relationship to spice up the relationship or whatever the case may be. That's a different, when you get into the threesomes or whatever, that to me a threesome is not necessarily an open open relationship. It's just more so an agreement that this person can join into a relationship, right? So that's why I want to make sure the difference is set out there as far as what are we calling an open relationship? What are we calling just a sexual fantasy or whatever it may be. So we haven't had any questions so far. Honestly, this is just not my cup of tea because I tell you straight up, my woman, my wife, only my hands. And I know most guys that I deal with, talk to, I'm pretty sure they feel the same way. You know, if I'm not making you happy in the sense that you want to have an open relationship, we need to talk more in detail about what's going on. So, but at the same time, I don't knock those that are into that. I wish I can get somebody that had some expertise in this to chime in and tell me their thoughts. But for this guy, this has to be the first time we've had this podcast and not one single comment or question came about. I guess everybody's just as in awe or curious as we are about this. So, with that, we're coming to the end of our show. Actually, it's a little short. No comments, no questions. As you can see, they left me stranded. But just to go into the next show, like I said, it'll be Monday versus Wednesday. I want everybody to understand that. Next show will be next Monday, which the date will be. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Monday the 22nd, November the 22nd. Monday, November the 22nd. We're going to talk about abusive relationships, right? And we decided to talk about this because it's when we say abusive relationships, I'm sure your first thought is a man abusing a woman, but no. We want to talk about abusive relationships because the misconception is sometimes it's vice versa. There are women out here that are abusing men in these relationships, whether it be physical, mental, verbal. There's all type of abuse, and the thing is, you have a lot of sneaky women out here that put it out there like they're being abused, and the whole time they are the abuser, and they because they know that in most cases people are gonna think that it's all on the man, and not. So no, we're not gonna let that slide. We're gonna talk about that Monday. Monday again, Monday, November 22nd, 6 p.m. If you have any thoughts, views, opinions on abusive relationships, and it's not just whether it's from a male perspective or female perspective, whatever the case may be, please, please, please chime in. Give us your thoughts. Give us your experiences, whatever the case may be, because that is a very, 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 very serious topic to us. And if we can help anybody through any situation, needless to say, of course, we want to. And because you know, in a lot of these situations, you have people that are going through this, but they're afraid to speak up. So that's why we're here. So you can backdoor us, uh, messenger, text message, email, whatever. Tell us your experience. It's 100% anonymous. We don't share your name. We don't none of that. We respect your privacy. But we want to know your experiences. We want to know your thoughts. We want to be able to put it out there. We want to be able to share your experiences with other people so they can give you their thoughts on it. And you'd be surprised. There's somebody out there right now, today, at this very moment, that's listening, that's dealing with an abusive relationship, or whether they are the abuser or being abused, but they can really benefit from hearing what you all have to say, we have to say, whoever may have to say. So that's what Can We Talk is all about. That's why we're here. That's what set us apart from a therapist or psychologist or whatever. We're not just here to medicate you or tell you how you should feel or how you should think. We're here to give you personal life experiences and to help you figure out tools, give you tools to overcome whatever it is that's holding you back, so we all can push forward in life. And that's my spiel. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see you Monday, November 22nd. Please, please, please chime in. If you know someone that could benefit from this, have them chime in. We all have someone. So I expect to see some big numbers Monday night, because it's a pretty hot topic. Abusive relationships, and it's somebody out here that needs to hear this. So, and I'm sure we all know someone that's going through it, and we all try to help them, and have not been successful because they're in love, right? So this could be that one break point that gets them to understand what it is they're dealing with and why they shouldn't be dealing with it. So again, tune in Monday, November 22nd, 6 p.m. We're going to talk about abusive relationships. So with that being said, God bless and good night.